This is part 2 of 2 video lectures based upon Dr. James Asher's article, Imagination in Second Language Acquisition, dealing with the brain and creativity. Now, some people get confused when I say that the right brain is the pattern detector, while the left brain is the editor, because they think of the two as the same thing, but they're different. The editor is looking for mistakes by critically judging each small piece without caring what the big picture is. If there are mistakes in small pieces, then the editor says the big picture can't be good. But the right brain is trying to see the whole picture, the pattern. So the pattern, think of it as a picture or art, before breaking it into smaller pieces. The right brain then is responsible for spatial memory, imagination, dreaming, doing, moving. The left brain likes numbers, speech, writing. It likes logic, and it's good at sequencing ideas. That leads us, therefore, to the idea of brain switching, which is that we learn better, deeper, faster when both sides of our brain are involved with the idea. Brain switching takes advantage of the strengths of both the right and left sides of the brain. There's no reason to ban feeling or the right side of the brain from the classroom, because evidence suggests we learn better when both sides are engaged at various times. As teachers, we need to think of ways to add right side brain activities to traditional lessons. Metaphors and storytelling are good ways to convert left side information into right side material. We've gotten away from our storytelling roots, but this is still a legitimate teaching method, and it's one of the reasons we focus on movie making in this class. Usually, when I ask classes whether they agree with Asher that genuine learning really happens on the first exposure and with zero stress, they don't believe it. I personally think that it is possible for learning to happen that way, but seldom does it work like that in the classroom. I think it happens more often outside of the classroom that way. However, I'm not convinced that it shouldn't work like that in the classroom. His premise is that by introducing the topic with right brain and then left brain activities, students can genuinely learn with long-term retention on the first exposure. The zero stress aspect usually means they don't even realize they've learned something. This is one reason game learning has become so popular. This is an intriguing concept that's worth spending more time trying to implement in our classes. It certainly can't hurt to incorporate activities for both sides of the brain in the classroom. If it is true that the right brain activities are remembered longer, then they more than justify any time they take away in the classroom from left brain activities. The last point I want to make here is Asher's comments about most language teachers being among the top 4% in the class who were able to learn the language despite only receiving left brain instruction. I always find it interesting in class how many students refuse to admit they're in this category. The problem with denying being in this top 4% is that research proves that we teach the way we've been taught. If left brain activities were good enough for us, then that tends to be what we teach with. I sincerely hope that this creativity class gives you permission to liberally include right brain activities in your classes.